Hi, I'm Vicky. I'm glad you're here. I'm punching out some stars with this little handheld punch, and it's very glimmery gold paper. Now, if you didn't have gold paper, you could just find some gold stars from the newsagents, I guess. I have 6 card bases that I have pre-cut. I have a pencil, some scissors, some tracing paper, and a stamp set that has a Christmas sentiment on it. I'm going to stamp that on each of the cards using VersaFine Onyx black ink so that it will be in exactly the same place on each of the 6 card bases. So I'm just lining that up on my stamping platform, and I'm stamping 6 of them. I'm just positioning that small star at the top. This gives me the boundaries of the page. So I want my tree to be within the boundaries. So I'm just drawing a very rough triangular shape for the top of the tree and a little bit of a pot at the bottom. And it's not symmetrical, it's a bit wonky, but don't worry about that. I have a trick that will make this completely symmetrical. Just fold the tracing paper in half and choose which side of the tree you like the best. And cut on that side of the image with some scissors. And this now becomes a template not just for drawing the tree, but for positioning the tree in exactly the same place on each of the 6 cards. And I'll show you how that works. So you're going to take the outside piece, you're going to put the tree inside it, and carefully lift it out. In fact, I think I moved it, so I'll do that again. Carefully move that out of the way and trace around the tree, and it's completely centered right in the middle of your card, and each of the 6 cards will have the tree in exactly the same place. So that's pretty cool. Now I'm just using very light pencil strokes and just sharpening up the edges, but keeping my pencil lines very light because I do want to erase them later. I've chosen a green marker and I'm just going to be drawing some curving lines, and the main thing is to stay within the borders of that triangle shape. And if you do this, your trees will always look fabulous. Even though they're very simple and the technique is very easy, this is something a beginner could do. You don't really need to be worried too much about having a steady hand, just as long as you stay within that triangle shape. So there's the first tree shape, and now it needs a pot. And I'm choosing a contrasting colour for each of the trees and each of the pots. Just making a nice simple blue pot there. A few dots at the bottom. And that tree is ready. I'm going to let it dry. I'll come back later and add the star to the top, and I'll need to erase all the pencil lines before I do that. And I'm going to go through all 6 cards in the same way, using that template system. Very light touch with the pencil. So this will give you a fun series of 6 cards. These are very simple designs. They're easy to do, and these 6 cards did not take me very long to complete at all. Here's a purple pot. Nice and simple. With just one line across near the top. And I'm making a yellow Christmas tree because why not? Just a simple triangular shape. And a line down the centre. And some diagonal lines. The only rule with these trees is really to stay within the boundaries of that triangle. And put whatever designs you like inside of them. So there's the first 2. And I'm going to continue along with all the other trees in the same way, but each tree will be of a different colour, each pot will be different, and the designs will be very simple and very easy for you to replicate. I'm starting with a curving line from the bottom, and I'm going to continue in a spiral all the way up the tree. And it doesn't matter if the spiral gets wonky, as long as you stay within the boundaries of the triangle, it's going to look fine. I'm doing a red pot this time and choosing a different design. Some stripes that go vertically from the centre of the pot out to the sides. So if you ever need to draw a symmetrical shape, this tracing paper hack is a really good thing to keep in mind. It's very simple. It doesn't really take anything more than a bit of kitchen baking paper or tracing paper, as I use, and it's a handy tip. Now you can see on the edge there, it hasn't continued all the way up. I do not want to go outside the boundaries of the tree. So I'll just let the line finish where it will. And these are just curving U shapes. And I've chosen a purple colour. And they're a little bit wonky, and that's fine, it's okay. I like the fact that this looks hand-drawn. And here's an orange pot. Purple and orange are great colours together. And just 2 lines across here on the bottom. Now this time I'm coming down from the top of the tree and just creating some jaggedy lines. And this tree is quite wonky. This is probably the wonkiest of all 6 trees. But it was a tricky pattern, actually. It's quite tricky to finish this off in the same place as you started on the other side. But I don't know. I'm not 100% happy with this tree. I kept going with it, and then I went back and fiddled with it. I don't know if that was a good idea. This is the least favourite one, I think. But I kept it in there. You can see just fiddling with it like that doesn't really do me any favours. I don't know that I really like this one, but anyway, I could have deleted this out of the footage, but I chose to leave it in. I like the colours, blue and yellow. I think that looks really cool. And 2 lines across the pot. But this tree is definitely more wonky than the others. So this next one, I did redeem myself and drew some beautiful straight lines all the way across. That's why I've turned the page onto its side. And I'm using a lovely purple colour here. So these are Winsor and Newton Promarkers. You could use any type of watercolour marker for this. And I want to get a nice straight line from the top down to the centre. And that's all I need for that tree. Very uncomplicated. And a green pot. And for the design, I'm just putting some small dots near the top of the pot. Now you need to erase all the pencil lines, and I'm using a soft kneadable eraser, which works really well. And now it's time for those glittery stars on the top. I'm just using some Tombow mono adhesive glue. Any liquid glue would work, or I think a glue stick would be too tricky to apply. You could perhaps put the glue stick on the back of the stars and then adhere them that way. But I think this method is fairly neat and tidy. You can see I'm using a tissue there to blot up any excess glue that smooshes out from underneath the little star. And they're done. So it was a lovely project to do. I really did enjoy making these 6 cards. This blue one, not so much my favourite, but I love the others. I think they're all quirky and cute. And I love that little star on the top. It just sets it off so beautifully. And they do look like a series of cards that have been planned out to be part of a set. I hope you enjoyed that project today. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, consider doing so you won't miss any more videos. And there are plenty more 2022 Christmas videos to come. Bye for now.